Hello, Mega Dimensions here, back for another second video, and this is probably the last part until we start the plus disc stuff and all that. So, last time we did the final route ending, and it was really beautiful, and now, as CL Sensei said, Shiki's story must end, and I've been hoping this off. Is the Eclipse. Let's play it. Yeah, I haven't played this once, so it's going to be pretty interesting. Suddenly I wake up. A vast night. Mist of a grassy field that extends as far as I can see. I certainly blank at the moon. There's no one else here. No signs of human presence, no sounds of any animals. Maybe it's because I pushed myself too hard these past couple of days. I just wanted to lie down quietly and be alone. And it seems I fell asleep. It was a bright darkness, probably because the moon is hanging so low. The grassy field looked like a black sea last night, and it's bright like some sort of stage. A clearing illuminated by sharp moonlight. I think it's fitting to end with moonlight, because she always admired the moonlight. I thought it was like a theater somewhere, only there's no curtains around. This field sweeps far and wide. It's devoid of curtains and trees. Now there's an audience or a stage crew. There's nothing here. The only things are here are the moonlight and the white darkness. The wind doesn't blow and the grass doesn't even sway. How quiet. I laugh, as it feels like all the commotion until yesterday was just a joke. No, you talk about jokes. Then my life until now, so happy that looking back it seems like it was just an illusion. A lot of things have happened. There are a lot of amazing things that occurred in my life, changed quite often. You can take this place by the wording. You can actually take this place at any of the routes and endings. So any like Arquays, CL, Hisui, Aika, Kohaku, any of those routes, this can be what happens afterwards. The expected and unexpected. Everything was illusionary. Looking back, it seems no matter how trivial things seemed, all the coincidences built on each other. Days were only a repetition of each other, but no 2 days were quite the same. And that means perhaps each one of them was an irreplaceable moment I can never return to. I recall many things that happened. The memories are so nostalgic and makes me smile. Just the thought of new experiences awaiting me in the future, different from those of the past, makes me dizzy. Truly a mix of emotions, happiness, excitement, and enough worries to give me a headache. My heart beats loudly once. What comes after is my usual anemia. The dizziness continues for a while, but eventually disappears. Though the wound in my chest healed, my anemia didn't go away. Seems like my fragile health wasn't caused by the wound on my chest alone. But of course, being able to perceive the shape of death means I stand much closer to death than others. Yeah, I guess so. To be honest, I never thought about living a long life like ordinary people. The sound of my heart beating. It's not like me to think of this, but I wonder how long can I keep running through time. The conclusions run uninteresting, because even if it stops tomorrow or in a few decades still. Hey you! It's dangerous lying around like that. And I hear a familiar voice. Huh? What do you mean, huh? Same reaction, so it's quite amusing. And she's actually wearing a skirt this time. It's quite interesting. You have a lot of free time on your hands if you can just sleep around here in the middle of the night. I was
This close to kicking you, so you better watch out.
He says grumpy while carrying a trunk in one hand.
Oh.
Kicked? And by who? I lift myself up.
Isn't it obvious, stupid? You and I are the only ones here, so who else would be but me?
I couldn't stop laughing because so nice just to see her again. She sighs as comfortably as she folds her arms. Seeming the last whispering on me, I gaze up at her and the moon. I can't believe it. There's something far meet you, but I didn't think they'd be today.
What a coincidence. I didn't expect to see you here either. I heard you were here, but never did meet up, did we? I was thinking it was our fate this time not to meet. Although...
So,
if we did meet, it would have caused trouble, right?
right.
I'm a member of the association after all.
So that was him.
We're not quite at good terms with the church.
She laughs without a hint of guilt. It's really hard holding back my laughter. It makes me happy to see his friend hasn't changed one bit since that day we met.
And since I ran things to do, I was going to leave here tomorrow. See, this incident was partially my fault, you know. So I'll stop here for a final check, and I almost ended up kicking some ordinary person.
We're afraid to meet.
We're afraid to meet.
I don't know who's talking.
Meet. I thought we'll meet up again.
I smile. Alright. Oh, welcome to Sword Fate. She flashes me an identical smile in return.
Long time no see. You're growing up, Shiki.
Yes. You seem to be doing well too, Sensei. Turning her plain greeting, I look back at Sensei with serious eyes. We sit in the field of grass and talk. We talk about the census things like the old days. It was only briefly we talk about what happened and we were going to do in the future.
It's about time. I don't plan on staying here long. I'll leave before it dawns, so we all part here.
Saying that, Sensei stands up. I know her, but I collapse.
Shiki.
I can hear her voice. I take a few breaths and stand back up. Dang. Seems like no sleep or rest until last night just hit me. Looks like it.
Looks like it. That distance is your biggest weakness. You don't look like you have any injuries. Is your body alright?
Yeah, thanks. Unlike you, I have a normal body.
If you say so.
She glances at me immediately, then looks directly into my eyes.
Shiki, you know you're not gonna last much longer.
Her clear words. I'm surprised. It's not that I'm surprised by her words, but rather I never thought she would say them. Well, I kind of know about it already.
Is that so? But you seem pretty calm. Even now, you strain your body over something that has nothing to do with you. I don't have time believing it, but are you really not afraid of dying?
She stares at me, somewhat peeved. No way. I think I'm more afraid of death than most people. But that's something in the future. Maybe tomorrow, next year, but I can't think about the future too much. This is like so, I don't know, it's very weird to say what is this mood like creating, like very wallflower or very calm moods. It's like very soothing. It's actually quite nice. Change of pace, you know, for an ending. I prioritize what I want to be doing now.
I see. So you can see your own death as well. That's why you're more afraid of death than others. That makes sense even for me. I'll be shivering if I could see 13 steps to the gallows.
Like, you know, it's like a very interesting interaction. I forgot what I was gonna say. Like, oh, well, what were you gonna say? I forget. Yeah. And actually, if I think about it, that's that's actually him admitting that he's actually afraid of death. He never actually admitted in the entire game, so it's like kind of interesting. He actually admits it to his own teacher. So I think it is fitting. No, it's not like that. It's not like I can clearly sense when I'll die. It's almost
the same thing. Let's see, can I use something for reference? You end up with a body weaker than those and others. It'll only be natural to curse an inferior life. Hey Shiki, don't you find it difficult living a life with such a body?
Sensei looks at me open yet unreadable eyes. Those eyes of a magus. Her sight, which I am not familiar with. If I really think about this, like the first time, like in the games, like magus is like referred, because I think when she comes from a light novel series first, before the visual novels came first. So she appeared in the light novel. So yeah, so I think it's like one of the first ones. I forgot, it was kind of Kyokai that comes first or hers. Because I know her story is like in the 80s, if I remember correctly. Took place in the 80s.
Isn't that right? You can no longer have a normal happiness like everyone else. As long as you have the body of yours, all that awaits you is suffering.
That may be so, but I think it's not that bad. But I'm probably happy. Because up to now was a lot of fun. So it'll probably be fun in the future too. Well, that's like quite interesting. He's quite optimistic. It's very interesting his optimism is. The sound of her gasping. With a large sigh, she changes back to her usual self.
Shiki?
He seems sad she calls my name.
To be honest, I do feel some regret. I feel like I said something to you that I shouldn't have back then.
I look straight into her eyes. It's different from before. Back then I looked to see her eyes, but now she's looking into mine.
God doesn't give extra power without reason. I'll tell you that if you have power, there has to be some meaning to it. But you know, it's up to the individual to decide what that meaning may be. There's no room for anyone else, especially something as ambiguous as a god, to interfere.
I don't know about that. I guess he can interfere. I don't know.
So, be alright if you did nothing. Even if you denied those eyes of yours and did nothing, it'll still be alright. I regret my words because you have led a normal life more suitable for you as Shiki.
Sensei.
Didn't I tell you earlier that you should live your life with an honest heart? You really did, Shiki. But that's something difficult to do. It would have been easier for you to stray from your path a little because your eyes draw you to disaster. Isn't it wrong that I cut more skilled than anyone else also hates killing more than anyone else? If you live a normal life or have played your heart deviated from the true path, you would have gone through so much pain.
Yeah, that may be true, now that you mention it. If I gave up, it may have been a little easier. But that has no meaning. I've only made things a little easier and to start out with. I never thought of it as particularly painful. You have the wrong idea, Sensei. Everything I did because I wanted to. It's not like I'm a saint or anything. I'm like myself, just the way I am. That's why I'm glad you told me back then become an adult by living the way I was, Sensei. I don't regret anything, so there's no reason for you to regret anything either. I really feel them both, and I smile at her. Nice. With dazed by rain light, she narrows her eyes and closes them briefly.
I see. Man, it seems you really have become a wonderful young fellow.
And Sensei is the fifth heroine. It's funny. Cause I just like reminds me of that scene of Carnival Phantasm. And she like recently has appeared in the new Melty Blood game, so I was like, oh wow. Her hand reaches for her trunk.
Yeah, you're fine just the way you are, Shiki. My world is full of devious individuals, so associating with someone like you balances things out.
Makes sense. The manga, since the Meiji Association is so so dark and so greedy and stuff. As we saw Element Loy and and Fate, some fake works, Fake Grand Order and all that stuff.
It might be hard for you, but if you don't mind, then I guess it's alright.
We'll see you.
See you,
Sensei turns her back to me. I can't stop her. There's no reason to. I can feel this really is the last time. All I can remember is one thing I forgot to say. That day, in the ocean of grass, an important friend who's spoken with me, who was about to disappear. There's no wind. The grass doesn't sway. The only thing that changes is her figure, which gets farther away. She didn't turn around suddenly back, and she won't now. Sensei. I called her stop. She halts in her tracks.
What?
She didn't turn around. Only her voice drifts to me. I know what I must say. The words I've always wanted to say. I just want to save these words. I really won't be able to see her ever again. But still, I have to say them. She told me all I'm saying is to myself and become a man in the manner that you think is right. She also taught me it's important to accept my mistakes and able to stop apologizing for them. That's why I have to say it. Thank you. I'm glad I met you, Sensei. That's what I felt as a child. Those words were the ones from bottom of my heart, and that I once could not say because I was filled with sadness of parting. From behind, it seems Sensei is surprised. She stands there, lowers her head, and turns towards me with her usual expression. Nice.
Take care, Shiki. Let's meet again, if we're free to do so.
She seizes as if it's nothing, and the wind suddenly gusts. Swoosh! It rustles through the swaying grass, and moonlight disappears. After that, as if done by the wind, she disappears. Nice. Yeah, this entire thing is just very nice. That's all the word I can just say, because it's like very calm and it's like very peaceful of an ending like this. It seems like fitting for a character who is so close to death to have an ending like this. For some strange reason, I'm not shedding any tears. I feel sad and don't want to part. But not shedding tears also means I've grown up since then. The grassy field becomes silent once more. Gazing up, it looks like the moon is about to vanish from the sky. All things pass by just like the moon disappearing. And yet, after a long time, there might be a chance to meet again. So tonight's moon disappears? Well then, I'll close my eyes just once if lowering the curtains. The sky dawns is drawing closer. Just like the moon just has fallen, for the time being the curtains are lowered on the long story for Tomoshiki. The heavens soar high above. I look up and embrace the clear, brisk night air. All things are uncertain, you just walk like a walking dream. Yeah, that's true. The past is an illusion. It doesn't leave anything behind a tangible form, and even the most vivid memories are really just transparent. Yes, yet I believe that moon image will never fade away. Even that is fragile. Even though I know it will end one day, I don't care. The memories continue on. I'm sure that even the end will be a happy one. The lunar eclipse is far away. Everyone races through the remaining time and passes on. Wow, that is beautiful. That was just beautiful. I'm sorry that it wraps everything up so the ending is just so beautiful for the character. It's so nice and it's like as I said earlier, a few lines before, it is so fitting for a character that's so close to death to just going to die soon. This makes sense because he has always said that. And it's even if it's partially his life has been returned to him. As in the other routes, in all the three other routes, then I think it still have the same outcome because his most life he's been tendering with death and the eye of death perception, so it makes sense. Though she survived so long, so who knows? Maybe Shiggy has a chance of surviving to his 60s or something. Well, I'll see you next time. I'm Mega Bye!